What's going on, everyone? SJ Collectibles back with another toy video, and in this one I will be going over one of my latest customs. It was a really fun project to work on. It is the feral predator from the movie Prey. So this is my figure. It was really fun to work on. Started on Saturday evening and just finished it up a little bit ago. Just doing the final touches on all the accessories for him. He started out as a NECA Toys Alpha Predator figure. Have the box here, so if you don't know it, it's this one. Their 100th figure. Really cool figure. And I have him in my collection as well. Uncustomized. But yeah. I pretty much started by taking all the armor pieces off of the figure, stripping them completely down. The hardest thing was the leg covers. They were actually sculpted pieces, so I dremeled it all down and actually re-sculpted the leg wraps that he wears in the movie. And then once he was all stripped down of everything, I started sculpting and also kit bashing pieces from other Predator figures to try and make this thing as accurate as possible to the movie. And not everything is exactly the same, but you know, it's close interpretation to a custom figure without doing a full sculpt and everything. So I used the Alpha Predator for the base figure, but for the arms I actually used the NECA's original Wolf figures arms from just the gauntlets, pretty much. But as far as starting off for this gauntlet with the wrist blade, the cool thing about the old Wolf Predator was just how far the wrist blade could extend, but also how much it could be put back into the gauntlet. So I tried to mimic that. So when I put this together, I actually drilled up into the arm, so unfortunately it doesn't have elbow articulation because of this feature, but I made it so the gauntlet, the blade, can fully extend out like the original Wolf figure did. And yeah, so you get his nice long big claw like in the movie. So that's his first weapon, and then it has that track that I dremeled into the arm, and it can probably go a little bit further, but for now I'm not gonna take the risk of breaking the wrist blades off. But that's as far as it'll stick out, kind of like the regular NECA figures that are released. So I did the full paint job on him. Started with the kind of light yellowish brown color tone, and then did his darker tones on his shoulders that he has. He's like this interesting red going up his chest with some pinks, and then some scars going on his chest and a scar on his arm. And then I went around and painted a lot of people are calling him Redback, so I went ahead and did that. And then focusing on his back piece, I did his backpack, and he also has the holster for one of his accessories that, if you know what it is from the movie, we'll get to it a little bit later. But I also made his nice little extension off of his belt, so he has all his skulls on this side. He has two of his folded down accessories. He's got that cool little fold up blade, and then the net that he tosses, his nice thigh armor, groin armor, another thigh armor. And these are the leg wraps that I sculpted to replace the ones that were on the original Alpha Predator. You can see that. I also did the kind of freckling of the skin that the Yachtja have, or this particular one has. Then we get into his mask. I use the Alpha Predator's mask, dremeled it completely down, and then I sculpted over top of it to make that bone mask that he wears in the movie, and then kind of sculpted in that it is over top of a steel, whatever their metal is, that's over top of their biomask. And it is not removable. I didn't feel like sculpting the face for now. Maybe I'll do an alternate head eventually, but I did reposition the mandibles, since his mandibles were definitely different in the movie. His laser sight on the side of his mask. The only thing that I did, I kept this collar for his, and the purpose of that was because in the movie it doesn't really make any sense of how his backpack and stuff are attached to him, so I actually used that collar, and there's actually straps that hook to that, so it makes it look like it's attached to his back as a backpack piece, because I have no idea how it's attached to his back in the movie besides just like Hollywood cosmetic wise. It just is kind of floating there, and it's kind of weird to me. Added the straps hanging down from his back armor piece, and then we get into a cool feature I wanted to do for his first accessory I'm going to show, and that is the shield. And I did 3 things for this accessory. First off, I made this plug piece, so you can take this plug and you can pop it off, and you've got this hole. And then I made the first folding out fan piece, and you can, I gotta work on that a little bit, but you can plug that into his arm like in the movie when his shield's starting to unfold out. Then you can actually take this back off and I made this other piece. You can actually put this through and have the fully extended shield. And this took me a minute to try and figure out how I was going to do this, because it's kind of difficult design without doing like a 3D printed thing or something. And then yeah, so that is him with his completely folded out shield, and I really like the overall aesthetic of how it came out. I was pretty excited when I was in like a dollar store and I found these little acrylic ornaments, and I actually used that and cut the shape and dremeled it and everything to try and make this really cool shield design that he has in the movie. So yeah, I can take this shield off, again set that aside, and then put his little plug back in to kind of just cover the little porthole there. So now we'll get into the next accessory, and that's his spear gun. This was a really fun thing to work on. It's a whole bunch of different Predator gun pieces and other pieces I had in my fodder box. I did originally have the spears removable, but it was just something I didn't want to lose. But yeah, from the limited pictures I tried to get it as close as possible with some liberties taken, but for the most part I feel like I did a good job of representing this pretty cool weapon from the movie. Not my favorite, but it's still pretty cool. And then again, have that holster on his back, and you can just take it and you can pop it in place, and like in the movie, it will just sit there on his back until he draws it to use. And I'm not going to give away the spoiler, what happens at the end with it. So yeah, but yeah, I love how that came out, that piece. So I'll leave that there for now. The next accessory I made was his little extended out blade, and I again the one that's folded up is on his belt. Kind of just like looped it there. But this is pretty much just like a Mortal Kombat Scorpion, piece of his spear, and I made it so he could hook it into in between his fingers, like in the movie. And he can kind of just, when he like whips it out, it kind of reminds me of those snap bracelets. It would fucking suck to have your ankle taken off like a guy in the movie. But yeah, so that's that little accessory. The next thing I made is his Combi Stick, and this was really fun. I know it's not going to be completely accurate, but I did take some liberties on doing my own design, but for the most part, the aesthetic of it is the same. So this is a folded down version, and so you have his bludgeon side, and then his more of a spear side. And then on the back of the figure, I made this port on his belt where you can actually hook it onto his belt. So like in the movie, he has all the spots where he keeps all his weapons on him, which I really like. And then he can take this bad boy, and then it folds up into this. So, yeah. A little bit more exaggerated hands, obviously, but I really like kind of the design I came up with for it. And then, like in the movie, you can take his Combi Stick and you can pop it apart. And then he's got two melee weapons, so you can take it, pour it into his hands, and yeah, now he is ready to fuck some Comanche warriors up. Or some French fur trappers. But yeah, great scene that he uses this particular weapon in the movie. So, yeah, I like this too. So we can take that and pour it back together. And fold it back down like so, and then we can actually hook it back on his belt. And yeah, and for the final accessory, I kind of just was like going through my fodder box, and I stumbled upon my Storm collectibles I had from a Cyrax. I had his net, so I kind of just painted it silver. And here's the little, it's kind of cool, you kind of just like this ball he throws at the unfortunate victim in the movie that gets turned into ground beef, pretty much. But yeah, so it's still flexible, and the paint does really well with it. And so yeah, I kind of got this clear rod that you can hook to it, and I'm going to make some kind of mount for it where so it just looks like it's, coming at you. Like that. So yeah. So that is all of the accessories I made for this ultimate feral predator, if that's what he's ultimately called. But really love how this figure came out. It really was a fun project to work on. I mean, it's not completely 100% accurate, but for the most part, it gets the overall aesthetic of the character across, I feel. And, just one little complete look over of him. I just really love how he came out. So, for comparison, we can bring in, oh, damn it. We can bring in Classic Predator. And they're pretty much scaled exactly the same. This is the re-release, and I really liked the paint job on him. Yeah. If you can find one of these in the wild, I definitely recommend it, because they really did a good job with the re-release of this figure. And then the other one I would like to compare him to is the Alpha Predators. You can see him. And here he is with Alpha. Again, this was the base figure for my feral predator. So, and this is an amazing piece of art. I'm telling you what, I love this figure. So, yeah. And I really like this one too. Kind of a very similar sort of design for this feral, more barbaric version of the Predator they were going for in this movie. But I don't know, I really loved the movie Prey. It's up there with a lot of the Predator sequels. Some of them are garbage, but I mean, I love the original, and I definitely love Predator 2. That's my favorite one. But I really, really like the movie Prey. Excellent movie, and I really liked the Predator design. I don't know if that's controversial or not, but hey, I really liked it, and hope a lot of other people did too. But tell me what y'all think of the figure in the comment section. Like and subscribe if you're not already. And this is SJ Collectibles saying toys keep you young, and happy hunting out there, everyone. And take it easy.